Already.
Okay, super duper. Listen, man. Listen, man. Listen, man. We reported we reported on this thing so many times. Teachers constantly having sex with students. And we're going to continue to report on this. And I just wish, and I'll say, if I said it once, I'll say it a million times. Where were these teachers when I was in high school, in middle school? Man,
They were there. They were there. They just weren't attracted to you, man. Just accept it.
oh, no, I cannot accept that. Not at all.
Accept it for what it is, man.
I cannot accept that. Not at all. So, were you slamming some of your grade school teachers or middle school or high school teachers? I guess middle and high school would be more accurate.
No, because I am still a virgin, so I'm
Anyway,
still yet to have sex.
now you see
So
that is believable, but so
there you
this is
go.
now this is why I say this is crazy. There's a teacher in Alabama,
Hmm.
who she got 10 years originally. All right, so this story is kind of interesting. All right, 10 years originally. For She was 47 years old, and she was slamming two of her students back in 2016, ages 17 and 18. Now she got prosecuted under a 2010 law. She received two counts of a school employee engaging in a sex act or a deviant sexual intercourse with a student under the age of 19. Remember, 17, 18, right? So the subtext of the law insists those under the age of 19 are being taken advantage of. Now, here's the thing. She feels like she only got dinged because she worked at the school, because in Alabama, the age of consent is 16 years old. So the teacher was like, hey, you guys are violating my my 14th amendment right, which is her right to privacy and equal protection under the law. So this is crazy. So a judge in 2017 agreed with her defense and said, hey, this is unconstitutional, and the case was dismissed. However, another court, a criminal court, had the appeals reversed and the decision was reinstated, and she actually got charged. And she did eventually plead guilty to the original charge. She's looking at 18 months behind bars and a bunch of community service. So at first, she's like, hey, you guys are violating my rights here. It's illegal to fuck a kid. And I have to, I'm sorry, auntie, I have to say fuck, because when you're an adult and you're sleeping with a kid, you're not making love. You don't make love to a child when you're an adult. You're fucking the kid. So
Okay.
in Alabama, it's illegal to fuck a kid. Excuse me, it's legal
Oh,
to fuck a kid at the age of 16. That's the legal age of consent.
I
But if
think we
you're
could find an alternate word at this point.
but if you're a teacher, if you're a teacher,
Auntie has tuned out. Auntie has
if
officially tuned out.
if you're a teacher, that's where the problem is. So again, we reported on these stories a number of times, but my thing here is 16. I'm not
That's
saying
that's what's surprising to you. That's a regular age for consent in a lot of places. That's what the crazy part is. In some places, it's even lower. Some places, it's even 14.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Just because you have to be 19 to go to the club or drink alcohol, that has nothing to do with consent in a lot of places, especially in the States. It's actually 21. Has nothing to do with consent, bro. Yeah, man. This that's not shocking to me.
So hold on for a second. I'm an adult. Let me take myself out of this hypothetical. And an
I know because
adult.
you're about to have sex with underage children. Like
No,
that's
I'm
that's the
not.
first spot you want to put yourself in.
So an adult cannot purchase a 16-year-old alcohol. They can't get the money from or even just out of their own pocket. They can't go into a liquor store and buy this 16-year-old alcohol, but they can fuck them.
Consent, as long as it's consensual. But then it's weird because that's the age of consent. But then in some states, it's still considered having sex with a minor. So I don't know where the laws stand or how they don't conflict with each other. But I mean, I just know that that's how it is in a lot of places. That's not as surprising to me, man.
Well, a lot of the times when we talk about these situations, I'm always like, man, we could have had a long-term relationship. I would have never said nothing. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Wow.
It would have never came
Wow.
out. But at the same time, we've had the other side of the conversation where we've seen the wrong in it as well. But now let's focus on this very unique situation, I think. She said that her 14th Amendment rights were being violated. And the only reason why she got dinged was because she was an employee at the school. I could understand. I'm sorry. I could understand why the case got thrown out in the first place. I really can. The
Yeah.
age of consent, they were this was a consensual relationship. The
Right.
only thing is, this is like when you work for a company and the company says we do not encourage inter-office relationships. You cannot date your employee, or excuse me, your coworkers. This is similar to that, I think. But guess what? If I work at a company and I choose to date my coworker where they don't encourage that, I'm not going to jail. All that's happening is I'm getting fired.
Right. Let me tell you what my problem is with situations like this. I never think of it from the adult's perspective. I continuously think of it from the teenager's perspective. The 17 and the 18-year-old boy who were the ones having sex with the teacher. And I say to myself, at that age, would I have been down for that? Absolutely. I wasn't looking for it because there was girls my own age that were into me.
That's a
You know what
great
I'm
point.
saying? But like, if it was something that came along and you are my teacher, I see nothing but I see great grades I'm about to get. I see free sex. I see experience. I see free lunches possibly. Maybe you'll take me out for something. Maybe free drinks when I have parties. I see a lot of win 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 win
So
win.
many,
It's a
so
DJ.
many
It's a
perks.
DJ. It's a DJ Khaled track because all I'm doing is winning over here. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my problem when I hear these things. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I don't. This is great. This is fantastic. Wonderful job. I wish they had put the names of these guys so I could draw up some certificates.
But let me ask you, and thank you for sharing that wonderful insight. But like I said, I gave you my POV on this.
Right.
I honestly think I won't go as far as saying her rights were violated, but I honestly think that she shouldn't be doing any time for this. What are your thoughts? Give it to me before we close out on this, man.
I think that if the like I said, I mean, if I wasn't clear, if the boys are down for it and she's down for it, I don't see what the problem is. Because like if so you're telling me that if this was outside, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they determine age, but I know at that age, I know what my mentality was. I knew exactly what was going on. I could make a decision when it came to sex. Would it always be the right decision? Maybe not. But that doesn't matter. I still knew what decision I was making. And that's what matters. Consent.
Viewing
So I mean,
public,
yeah.
man. Yeah, no. And I guess, yeah, you kind of did answer the question, but viewing public, what are your thoughts on this, man? The age of consent to fuck a child at 16.
Wow. There are so many other words.
16. What are you talking about? We're talking about an adult having sex with a kid.
Boom, you just found it. Thank you.
No, you're not having sex with a kid. You're not making love to a kid. You're fucking them because you're fucking them. Listen, you're fucking them here and here
Making love.
and here and here. You're fucking them. Viewing public, what are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to wrap up. And if you want a kid, go to Alabama. Deuces.
Wow. Wow. It's just the levels. Maybe you just don't understand love enough to understand that it can be had between people with a 30-year age gap sometimes. That's all it is.
Now, I'll tell you what I do understand. I understand that there's no way in hell YouTube is playing that video. But
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. It's a real story. It's a real story, YouTube. You can't be mad at us for a real story. You know what I mean?
They're not playing that for nothing. Listen, you're a dog owner, which is why I wanted to talk about this story. Chris Brown's former housekeeper is allegedly suing him after the dog brutally mauled her Brown is also being accused of trying to cover it up before 911 was called. So the woman claims she was outside emptying the garbage when the dog emerged out of nowhere and began biting into her skin, ripping chunks off her flesh, face, arms, and body, leaving a bloody mess. Who wrote this thing? Stephen King? Despite her pleadings, the victim claims no one came out to aid her, even though Chris Brown and the men them were at home. She claims that once the incident was complete, she was literally lying in a pool of her own blood. Chris came towards her and directed his team to get the dogs out of here and flee the scene before the cops came. She said when the cops came, Chris told the cops he had no idea where the dogs even are. Who took the dogs? Who? What? Shrek? And so according to her, she had to undergo extensive surgery to preserve her life, and her injuries have scarred her for life as well. Her spouse, her hubby, is also suing Chris Brown for losing his capacity to enjoy his wife's affection and company. So I must say this. Who's in the wrong here? Because when I like to jog, right? I go jogging, and there's a track across, but sometimes it's super hot. The track's crowded, so I'll jog on the side streets. And there's this one house. They do their best to keep the dog in. High fence, some parts of it's low, but they try. But whenever you even walk by the home, even on the other side of the street you're walking by, the dog goes nuts. It looks like he can literally hop that fence and tear chunks of flesh out of your skin. If this was to happen, I'm just walking by. Who's in the wrong here? The dog or the owner?
I mean, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this before, like with these dogs and them attacking people. But if you want to know the actual technicalities of it,
we did not. But go ahead.
We've never spoken about dogs attacking people before.
We talked about you willing to risk your life and get mauled by a bear to save your dog, but not this topic. But go ahead.
Maybe I just wanted you to say that. Anyways, yeah, but when it comes to this, if you want to know the technicalities, if a dog really does attack a person, the dog gets put down. If it's seen as aggressive like that, most times when dogs are barking like that, they're not really trying to attack you. If they wanted to attack you, dogs will attack you. That's what they'll do. When they're barking like that, it's territorial. They're just kind of saying, keep your space, whatever. I'm here, kind of letting you know where they are. It's not something that I really take seriously when somebody makes a claim like this against a dog, because I don't know these dogs, right? I don't know how they're trained, but I know that most dogs don't just attack random people unless they're provoked in one way, or you know what I mean. There has to be a reason. Dogs don't just attack people for no reason. Especially if they recognize you. This is somebody who worked for Chris Brown, so I'm assuming these are not brand new dogs that he just brought in, some random German Rottweilers that were military trained, and it was their first day on the job, and he just had them roaming the field. Like, none of this makes sense to me. So when I hear stuff like this, I guess it's right as a dog owner, but I call bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well, here are the dogs right here.
Okay, that makes it even worse.
But what I'm saying to you is clearly these people are looking for a payday. But let me ask you this question, and I'm going to put you in the hypothetical Chris Brown situation, but also it could potentially, you're a dog owner. So you're Chris Brown, you're worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. They give you an ultimatum. They say, look, we're going to take you to court. And let's just say they have a great case. They could really get you for some M's. So we're going to take you to court. We're going to take them M's from you. Or, so this never happens again, we want you to euthanize your dogs. You giving up them M's or you putting the dogs down?
I mean, if it's between those two situations, I mean, if I have the money, then I guess I'm putting up the money. But if I don't have the money, then obviously I'm going to euthanize the dog. But it would never come to that situation for me. So, but I mean, if that's the only choice I have.
You know why it wouldn't come to that situation? Because he's going to find out where they live, and he's going to
No, that's not what I said. See, no. What we're not going to do is start putting words in my mouth Yeah, especially when they're aggressive like that. No,
I'm
no.
just saying, you said you were willing to get mauled by a bear to protect your dog. So, I mean, the lengths that you would go to for your dog, it's just,
These are
the
all things that you are
imagination.
saying. These are
The
all. I want to point out
imagination.
that these are all things that you are saying. I have never said any of these things. First of all, so that's all.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts, man? Look at this. Look at these. Look at the little doggies. Look at the
Yeah, the picture
kitties.
makes it even more unbelievable. Like,
Right? I mean, I'm telling you. But what are your thoughts here, man? Leave it in the comments. And the same hypothetical question goes out to the viewing public as well. You putting the dog down or you putting up them M's? We already know what this psychopath is willing to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces.
okay, all right, I'm a psychopath because I care about my dog. Okay, that's a good way to look at it.
I didn't say
No,
that.
that's a good way to look at it.
I'm calling you crazy because you're willing to go to someone's house and finish the job that your dog potentially did. Just
I never once said that.
dude, this is the words that we videotape this, right?
You always say that. You always say that. You're like, I'm gonna play you the tape back after. I watch this shit. Like, I watch these, so I see. Yeah.
Listen, man. I know you smoke weed. What influenced you to first to start smoking weed for the first time?
What?
What influenced you to start smoking weed for this is a pretty basic
that is the most random question. I
yeah,
have no
it's
idea.
a pretty
Man.
basic question. Like, you don't know what
I don't
encouraged
know.
you to start smoking weed?
No, I don't remember, honestly. Seriously, I'm not just being stupid.
This is the level of weed that he smokes. The memory, it's gone. Well, I can tell you the thing that encouraged me to smoke the ganj was Friday. The movie Friday, Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. I watched that movie with my homie Mo, and we thought it was the funniest shit ever, like everyone else. We were like 15, 16 years old. We had no money. But luckily, his mom smoked weed, so he stole weed from her.
Right. Right.
And that's how we started smoking. I remember the first time I smoked, the way I knew I was high was because I thought I was in a dream. Like, I thought I could, like, the air was a tangible
Right.
thing and I could touch it. That's how I
Okay.
knew I was high. How did you
Okay.
how did you know that you were high for the first time?
I woke up on a park bench, so that's how I knew somebody woke me up. I don't even know if I woke myself up. Somebody probably woke me up. Yeah. That's how I remember.
But since then, Friday has just been huge for me. Friday, the Friday after next. I don't know, Chris Tucker, whatever, fuck you. But Mike Epps came through,
Next
did the
Friday,
damn thing.
yeah.
And then that was next Friday, excuse me. And then the Friday after next, that was the one that was circled around Christmas. They introduced Cat Williams, Terry Crews.
Right.
Friday is a star, excuse me. Yeah, the movie Friday, the franchise is a star maker. So ever since then, we've been waiting on last Friday. Waiting. Well, let's provide some context to this story. Ice Cube and Warner Brothers, they've been fighting over the Friday franchise. Ice Cube wants Warner Brothers to relinquish the rights to the Friday series, as well as All About the Benjamins and the Players Club. Lisa Ray. Yes, so basically he's accusing the studio of delaying the next installment of the franchise last Friday. The two parties agreed to develop last Friday in 2012, nigga. Okay. With Ice Cube reportedly to be paid $11 million. Disagreements over the script and other issues have delayed the new film for years. That's an understatement. Warner Brothers actually sees it a different way. They say they have no intention of relinquishing any rights to the film, and they blamed Ice Cube, saying that the reason why the movie's being delayed is because this nigga's focusing on other basketball endeavors like the Big Three basketball league. Quick sidebar: have you watched anything or been keeping up with the Big Three at all?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
You have? Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Thank you for that side question. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, Warner Brothers is calling. Is basically saying that they're again refusing to release the rights to the movie or any of Ice Cube's films, and more or less, it's a big middle finger. So, I mean, it's been over 10 years. Now,
Right.
I have to say here, all the Friday movies have been profitable, right? Go to Wikipedia. It's all been profitable, right? Even the one with Cat, that was like a straight to DVD. That didn't even make it to the theaters. It was still profitable. If you're Warner Brothers, are you giving up everything? Keep in mind. Sorry, I should let you answer the question. Go ahead.
I'm like, can I get an opportunity here, please? Thank you. Okay, my time. Golly. Yes, listen. This is the same thing as any other contract, man. If this is the contract that you sign and they own the thing and it ended up being profitable, well, that's on you for not signing a better contract where you can make some more money off of it. Him coming back to try to get it now and after, I get it. Like you want to do that, that's fine. But like you can't hold a movie hostage, you know what I mean, and claim that it's one thing when it's really just you wanting to get the money that you know that these franchises are going to be making for the rest of your life.
Facts.
Like we
Facts.
know what you're doing here, Cube. We see what you're doing. And it's not that there's no support for it. You should. You wrote them. You and DJ Pooh.
DJ Pooh.
You guys wrote them.
Pooh.
I get it.
That's
You should have signed a better contract. You should have renegotiated. You should have did something to the point where this didn't become an issue how many years later? You know what I mean? So
well, and this is the thing. You and DJ Pooh, Pooh Shiesty's grandpa. Like, I mean, Ice Cube was a household name at that point off the NWA and his solo rap career. So he, you know what I mean? But as far as movies, ain't nobody know you for movies. They gave you a shot. They gave you the funding. So I get it. It goes back to what we always talk about. You can go the independent route and you could struggle and struggle and struggle, or you could say, all right, somebody's giving me an opportunity. I'm probably going to have to give a lot more on the back end. And if I'm taking a risk on you, I want the payday.
What he should have done was renegotiated. That's what he should have done. Like, I mean, did the first Friday not do really well? Like, I don't get why he couldn't go back to the table with a second one, because I know for a fact there's no way they signed him off bat for 3 Friday movies.
That's a really good point.
You know what I'm saying?
There's
no way. There's no way. They signed him for one movie for sure. Yeah, so when you go back after Friday and you see how Friday did, and then now they want to do another one and you have a chance to renegotiate, why don't you come up with something? And then when they come back with another movie, why is this not? And then you want to talk about All About the Benjamins and what was the other movie that he wants?
Players Club,
right? Stop, Cube. I think you're living in a cube.
Seriously,
you're living in a really small cube because you don't understand what this is and how the industry works. You should know by now. You own Big Three. You're a part owner, whatever it is. You understand how business works.
Yeah, but not to mention he signed record deals before. If my memory serves me correctly, in the movie Compton, right? The NWA movie, right?
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, not Compton, the NWA movie. There's a scene in there where Ice Cube, I think it's Priority Records or Interscope, it's one of them. He's in there and he's destroying the office because he's like, where's my money? My records did what it was supposed to do. And you guys were like, no, I'm gonna get you on the other one. Other one does amazing. And you know what I'm talking about. You know the scene. So if the movie is as accurate as they claim it to be, because Dre was viewing over the script and so on and so forth. So if it's as accurate as they claim it to be, nigga, you knew this shit going in. What are you talking about? You already ran through that chamber. So you should know. And you make a great point. This was not a Rihanna record deal where they signed her for 6 albums right off the hop. Guaranteed they signed you for one movie. The movie did good. Either you went back to them or they came to you and said, hey, let's do another one. They ain't saying that just because they like you. They're like, this is profitable. Time to negotiate.
Exactly. But he didn't do that. So that's why this is just like, it sucks. I feel bad for you, Q. But if you expect them to just give it up,
feel bad.
If you expect them to just give it, if you expect them just to give it up and be like, you know what I mean? No, I do feel bad. I do feel bad because at the end of the day, when you put work into something, you feel like you should be compensated, and you have a right to feel that way. You do.
You know who I feel bad for?
If I was out there and I was ghostwriting for a bunch of big artists, right? You know what I'm saying? And later, towards the end of my career, it came time for a Lifetime Achievement Award. And they said, you know what? Because you don't own any of these songs and because you were a ghostwriter, nobody's actually going to recognize you as a songwriter. And even though you wrote some of the greatest songs in the world, nobody's going to be able to recognize you. That's not something we're going to give to you because we own all those songs. You don't own it. I would feel like shit. That person would feel like garbage.
Well, guess
it's
what?
the same thing.
Well, guess what? First of all, ghosts don't have feelings, which is why they call them a ghostwriter.
You know what?
But also, you know who I feel bad for?
You know what?
I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for me. I feel bad for the fans of this movie franchise because this was something that they were talking about over a decade ago. And the reason why it's being held up was because Ice Cube apparently didn't know how to negotiate a favorable contract. So we have to suffer for it. That's what I feel bad. I feel bad for the fans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And ghosts don't feel anything. You've seen the movie with Patrick Swayze. You know the scene where they're like doing the thing.
Leave it alone, nigga. leave, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here, man? Do you think this movie is ever going to come out? You think it's ever going to see the light of day?
2022.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, yo, by the time they come to some sort of,
that.
by the time they come to some sort of like agreement,
It might actually be the last Friday.
really, like Ice Cube's gonna be like 80.
Literally be the last Friday on the planet by the time this movie comes out.
Bad. But yeah, leave it in the comments. Let us know what you think. When do you think this movie's gonna come out? Talk to us about your first experience smoking the ganj. He woke up on a bench. I thought I was in a dream and I could touch air. It was
like a regular day for you though. That's like a Wednesday.
Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. It was a great day. Let us know what your thoughts are, man. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And Chris Tucker, will he be in the last installment?
Somebody answer, man. Leave it in the comments. We're not starting that.
Smoke dog, baby.
Yeah, man. Okay. All righty.
Deuces, man. Peace.
Deuces.
All right, hold on. Let me press stop.
What about the last one? You don't want to talk about this thing in going on in Norway?
No, we're doing 3 topics, but I gotta go.
Hey, thanks for watching that video, man. One thing we need you to do, I need you to like, I need you to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and please drop a comment and join in on the conversation.
Absolutely. We are trying to get to our goal of 500 and beyond.
Sure.
As you can see, we are almost there. And that video, that little icon there, I need you to click on that, watch the next video, like, rinse, and repeat. 2 Guys Doing a Podcast. Those.